Hey kids, it's Arp. This is the ArpCast, somewhat live from the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains in eastern Tennessee. Today we talk about different things, weird people, and maybe unicorns and rainbows. We read poetry and short stories too. Most of all, we keep it real. This is the ArpCast, starting now. It's ArpCast number 17. We are here. It's Turkey Week. It's November 20, 2017. Thanksgiving is but 3 days away. 3 days. It's Movie Mondays. It's a new episodic feature on the ArpCast. Started last week, our first review, Loving Vincent. Today, we're going to go back a little bit in the movie archives, just a tad, back to 2016. We're going to review La La Land. I had no choice with this one. I mean, it's a long story, but I knew at some point I would break, and indeed I have. Now, look, a little bit about me and movies. Movies are an intimate and intricate part of my life. I remember more about the movies than I do about my own life because they're probably more interesting. What I was going to say is if you know me, and there are only a few of you that are listening, period, and then most of you do know me. So they are a fascination for me. I think maybe why I ended up in project management, just the going from idea to, a mature concept to written word to celluloid to distribution and then to the big screen. It's just an amazing process. I think a great deal has been put into the movies that affects us, and then two, I think we learn from what's in the movies. There's some takeaway. And so, the review here is broken down really into three parts. Kind of the features of the movie, the philosophy, and then the ALF. ARP's likability factor. So that's how it's going to be every week. And so we'll get started with La La Land. I have been besieged, stalked to watch this movie. Again, long story. But let's run it down. And first and foremost, La La Land surprised me. I had not seen any of the trailers. I had not read anything about it. I knew that it was a musical. And that's a slippery slope for me, right out of the bat. I like musicals. You go to the theater, you see a musical. Musicals on the big screen, not really my cup of tea. Needless to say, La La Land surprised me. So the features. Look, this is kind of a big film. It's an ode and an homage to old Hollywood. And I really like that about this movie. I like the tenderness of the movie. I like the cinematic appeal, the cinematography, the writing, the pace of the movie. It's just a big movie for me, and I wish I had seen it on the big screen. So there's that. The characters, played in this case Mia by Emma Stone and Sebastian by Ryan Gosling, really well done. And Emma Stone richly deserves the nominations that she got across the globe, really. I think Oscar nomination, maybe a win. Again, I researched a little bit, but BAFTA, Golden Globes, really the whole 9 yards. And then I do remember this, 14 nominations for the film for the Oscars. So a tremendous feature film in terms of its commercial success. The story is wonderful as well. So just, in an interview I was watching with them, I did do a little bit of research. With Emma Stone, she she said that there was a lot of work and thought put into this very original screenplay, and so that comes through. The story is fresh. It is original. I think it is loosely based on. It takes a lot of direction from a Catherine Deneuve film, a French film from way back in the day. I don't recall the name of the film, but certainly mentioned in some of the biographical information on La La Land. So filmed in Los Angeles, very much a Los Angeles film. Los Angeles, I think, very much plays a character in the movie along with Stone and Gosling. And, we've heard all about, it's the romanticism of it and the sort of the negative aspects of Los Angeles. I think like any city across the globe, there are going to be positives and negatives. But here, certainly, I think it plays a very positive role in the movie as a backdrop, as a setting for what takes place in this musical. I do like the fact that it wasn't just all musical. I didn't know what to expect. So it goes back and forth. The songs are tremendous. I did like the songs very much. I thought they were well placed. I thought they had the right feel, the right tone. And I think Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, again, do terrific jobs singing and playing. Gosling, there was no piano body double or hand double or whatever you want to call it. This was the real thing. This guy learned how to play the piano. This guy learned how to tap dance. So did Emma Stone. I don't know where he was on the singing piece, but again, tremendous job. So it's a love story. And but it's a little bit more than that. So I'm going to kick a little bit into the philosophy here. And I've been talking about some elements of this concept, this element of Swadharma. What's that thing that you do that makes you you, that's your purpose in life? And this movie resonated very strongly with me on that front. And Gosling says it kind of in the one scene, but in two different ways. Maybe it's in two scenes, I'm not sure. One is about the sort of this death of traditional jazz music. And I'm not going to get too much into the story, but the death of jazz music. And that wouldn't it be a shame for this sort of pristine, pure American type of music for it to go away as we've known it? And there's some more elements of that in the movie. In one scene, you can tell by her facial features and expressions that Stone's character Mia is very disappointed in the occupation that Sebastian has taken up. It's still music, but it's away from that pure, that original construct that we know as American jazz music. So tremendous there. And also, there's a scene, I think, when Gosling's character, Sebastian, and I believe his sisters, and the character's name is Laura, I believe, are at their apartment, and, he's talking about struggle. And, I want it to be tough, and I want it to be difficult, and I want it to be a challenge. I don't want it to just be handed to me. And I'm kind of paraphrasing from the spoken word there. But again, nothing is easy when you're doing what you love and you're trying to pour your heart into it. And so I thought the philosophy of the movie, and you kind of wrapped around dreams and the dream state and some elements towards the end that were very interesting. And I won't, no spoilers here, but very philosophical to me. The screenwriters did a good job. Storytellers did a good job here. of speaking to me anyway, and not that they were intending to speak directly to me, but to get that point across. One other point on that as well, there's a scene in the movie where Sebastian, Ryan Gosling's character, is explaining the setup and the role of jazz music and how it works. And it's this collaborative, argumentative music style and impromptu. And, I think he describes, each individual musician, the saxophonist and the bass player and the pianist and the trumpeter, they're doing their own thing, but they are staying focused on the guiding melody. And life is so much like that. It's tremendous when you think about it that way. So the philosophy, I think, that we've been talking about and I've been mentioning for the last week and a half worth of episodes, I think nicely shows up here. And what a nice coda to that topic. I'm going to try to move on to a different topic here. It's hard for me to move away from that topic because I think we all struggle with it. Well, not we all, but some of us do, certainly. I know I do. So here we are. We're at the end, and it's ARP's likability factor, the ALF, that we call it again after that lovable, fuzzy character from a sitcom here in the States some 20, 30 years ago, I guess. So so remember what our scale, love, like, meh, right in the middle, dislike and loathe. So love, like, meh, dislike and loathe. I really did, when I got done with this movie in the end, and there are some low points. I went back and read some of the reviews, and they said, a lot of folks, the middle is kind of swampy and murky and slow and so forth. I didn't really sense that. Now, unfortunately, I had to watch the movie in kind of two parts, so I didn't really sense that. It was almost like two movies for me. But I really loved this movie. I thought it was a good piece of Hollywood nostalgia, strong acting, great music, and a great story. So well done, Hollywood. Well done. That's a love for me. La La Land. It's November 20, 2017. This has been ArpCast number 17. We will see you back here Thanksgiving Eve, 2 evenings hence. Until then, take it easy. Well, kids, you know who this is. It's ARP, damn it. You have been listening to the ArpCast, a sensational, fact-filled experience meant to change the world. I'm happy you stopped by. Our sponsors, those greedy, wily bastards, thank you too. Make sure to write, this has been the ArpCast. I'm out.